President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday, 30th December, met behind closed doors with service chiefs at the Aso Villa in Abuja. Addressing state correspondents after the meeting, Chief of Naval Staff Ibokekwe Abbas Ire Admiral said the meeting appraised the nation's security situation in 2019 with emphasis on ongoing internal and regional operations. He revealed that the meeting resolved to assess to security development in areas where relative peace had been restored, with a view to withdrawing the military to concentrate on other emerging threats and concerns in the country. On maritime security, the naval boss disclosed that a lot has been done in the protection of the nation's maritime environment, noting so much has also been done on maritime development to ensure that our resources are protected. In his message, Buhari sent their warning to all bad eggs in the country, the insurgents, terrorists, armed robbers, and kidnappers, including economic saboteurs, to retrace their step. He said the security forces and law enforcement agents are now positioned to deal with them.
Security Council meeting with Mr. President, where the meeting appraised of the security profile in 2019 generally, with emphasis on the ongoing operations, both within as well as the regional operations that are ongoing. With respect to the security situation in the country, it was generally agreed and noted that the security agencies have done their very best in ensuring that the deliverables are made clear. You recall that the various operations in the country, in the northeast, in the northwest, the north central, the southeast, as well as the southwest, where all the members of the armed forces are taking part, as well as the intelligence agencies, have ensured that we all enjoy a better holiday period that has just been observed. You also recall that for those areas that we believe the military has been able to achieve the desired objectives, that in the first quarter of next year, the civil authority will be preparing to take back those responsibilities as the military draws back on its forces in those areas to enable it focus its attention on other emerging threats and areas of concern. While it's also observed that in the maritime environment that a lot has been done to ensure that our resources are protected, the outcomes of the operations there has seen to the arrest of about 6 vessels that were involved in stealing of the nation's maritime resources. Mr. President has directed that the Council and the members of armed forces ensure a peaceful society in 2020, and to that effect, we are more than determined to continue from where we stopped in 2019 and to ensure that we sustain our various operations to ensure a secure Nigeria for all of us. Maybe it's so long as Nigeria is not engaged in war outside, it means whatever internal crisis that we have are basically that of responsibility rests with the police. But in the circumstances that the military had to come in to stabilize the situation, it is only proper that once particular areas have been dominated by the military and the situation has returned to normal, that the Nigeria police takes over the responsibility. And in this instance, we also have the civil defense, which is also supposed to support the police in this regard. You recall also that Mr. President recently approved the recruitment of about 10,000 Nigerians into the Nigerian police force. We're hoping that once these Nigerians get the appropriate training, that they will be in a position to fill the gaps. You are aware that Nigeria is such a big country and that we cannot tie down the military even in those areas that the deliverables have been achieved. Will be based on the situation on ground. It is not expected that the military will withdraw when it is apparent that there's still some threat in such locations. And I also want to believe that we are also aware that the nation is procuring equipment for the military. It is expected that before the second quarter of next year, most of this equipment will be in place. It therefore means that rather than have boots on ground, we're looking at technology-backed surveillance that will enable the military react more efficiently and effectively. And with that, it is also believed that the Nigerian police will take the lead in containing the security in such areas that must have been assessed to be in their right place to sustain. I don't believe that a responsible military will want to withdraw when it is apparent that there is still risk that cannot be overcome by the police. The issues of the Islamic State in West Africa province, I also would like you to look at it from a broader African perspective. We have in the recent past had attacks in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, and other countries in West Africa. Of course, the genesis of the Islamic West Africa province is well known to all of us here. While it is painful to have to lose people from within, but I think the military is doing all in its power to ensure that we overcome the menace of the threats posed by ISWAP. You also recall that just 2 weeks back, we have had over 27 attacks by Boko Haram and ISWAP in the northeast alone. And our gallant troops out there were able to repel these attacks and even take out some of their commanders. So it is a thing of concern, but the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies are doing all in their power to ensure that, together with other regional partners, that the menace of ISWAP is contained. It is our wish to have the insurgency and terrorism issues resolved once and for all to enable us focus on matters of development. At this point, I think you as partners in development, you will also need to do that much to encourage our armed forces and then other security agencies to ensure that what we have coming out from you supports the efforts of the military while you are doing your legitimate work. It's our hope that we get done with this insurgency and the terrorism that has besieged our country. Thank you.